Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. I have a wrench today that I've been holding on to. I'm just so excited to get started with this, and let's get to it. Okay. Oh, this is great. Today's wrench. Look at this beauty, huh? It's a Little Giant. See here? It says Little Giant, 14-inch. And these were made in Greenfield, Massachusetts. And just look at this wrench. Look at the lines on the... And how cool is this, huh? Jaws on each side. I mean, come on. This is like, you can't get better than this. When you get so excited over a wrench, right? There's got to be something wrong with me. So the teeth are all in excellent shape. This is an eBay find. And the knurling, look at that. Beautiful knurling. We're going to take that off. All right, let's get started. I'm just excited. Okay, we started off with the paint remover, and this stuff works so good. You have to use this stuff. Don't even bother trying to sand that paint off. Rinses right off. It's the way to go. Then we took it to the wire brush, and we came up, we saw a lot more pitting than we expected to see, but we'll see that in the evaluation coming up. Okay, here's our post wire brush evaluation. Now, if you notice, this is where your work really comes out to see what you're going to have to do. Now, if you look over here, you can see the tremendous amount of pitting. You see that? That's some deep pitting over here, over here, over here. The teeth look good, but there's some pitting on the teeth, not too much. But you see that? Look at that. That's bad, right? Okay, over here, same thing. Pitting. Look at that tremendous amount of pitting over there. Pitting on the head, you know. The forge lines, you know. Just remember what this looks like, because I don't know what I'm going to do. And here we have the knurl ring. Looks pretty good. They always come out good. You know, the knurling's always decent in here. But we'll finish that up. But again, look at the pitting all along here. And the forge marks. You see over here? And the dents on the bottom, you see? Somebody was banging it around. Again, this is a 70-year-old wrench, so that's what you get. But everything looks good. Let's get started with the belt sand. Well, we detailed the inside with a Dremel, and then we took it to the drum sander, and then we had to use the triangular file for the teeth, and then a big heavy rasp file to get off some of that major dents and whatnot. And then we took it over to the belt sander. The belt sander does a quick job, but we went through actually 4 belts with this wrench. That's how deep the pits were, and I was just going through belts like crazy. But I think it was well worth it when you see the results. Interesting thing is, after here we went to the buffing, polished everything out, got everything nice and shiny, and then we wiped the entire wrench down with denatured alcohol, and then gave it a couple coats of factory orange paint, so it looks very similar to what it was like. And of course, you know, my favorite part, you remember what it looked like before we started. Okay, we are calling this wrench done. I can't tell you, I'm so happy the way this wrench came out, huh? Look at the beautiful lines of this wrench. Now, this wrench was designed and patented by A Carll, or Addison A Carll, back in 1913. The wrench and all its variants, his patent cover. And when I say variants, what they did a lot of times is they would have different lengths. So in meaning from here on was basically his design, and then you could have it. It went all the way up to 24 inches, from 8 inches to 24 inches. Then Greenfield, this you could see the Little Giant model was made by Greenfield. They were real popular for making taps and dies back then, so you know their steel was second to none. It was really good, and you could see we were able to get all them dent marks and dings and knocks that were in the wrench out. The teeth came out very nice. It's very smooth to operate. It's a 3-piece wrench, meaning you have the jaw, you have this knurled nut here, and then you have the body of the wrench. Now, how this would work is, ingeniously, it was machined in a way that you see that little clamping pressure. So when you put the pipe in here, and I'll show you in a minute, this knurled nut here was a really important part of this design, because the way it's shaped, it would lock in. A lot of the knurled nuts didn't take a lot of the load, but this one here would just allow that to lock in, so that the the jaw could grip on each side. And really nice wrench. The polish came out really good. Got rid of all the forged lines. It's like a jewel now. Let me show you how the thing works. Okay, and demonstration of the little giant here is you take your wrench here, and we have a standard piece of brass pipe locked up into the vise. And what you would do is you would take the jaws like this, engage, and you could see it locks on really tightly. And that leverage, that rotating ring here, just like most pipe wrenches, will give you a tremendous amount of force on that vise to lock it in. Now, by reversing the jaws, if you were working on an overhead pipe, you wouldn't have to use any force to push it to. If this was an overhead pipe, you can use gravity to help hold the wrench in place, and you can see you get that same amount of leverage to pull it up and pull it that way. Now, I really like the wrench for just the lines and the way it looks, and this little action here, but I have a lot of professional plumbers that subscribe to the channel, like Bent Water and whatnot, and these guys can tell us if this is a wrench that was well used or something they would avoid or something for whatever reasons. But just as far as aesthetics go, it's just, this is such a pretty wrench, isn't it? And again, the Little Giant 1913 patent by A Carll, and came out really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed the restoration. Thanks very much for tuning in. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.